I want to thank Daniele for coming to our show from Karmamoi,
Yeah,
and it's wonderful to have you on the show.
yeah. Thank you, Mark. It's my pleasure. My pleasure to be here and yes, doing this interview for all of you guys.
Yes, wonderful. So I became aware of your band on the third album, the one prior to this. Have you noticed that the third album was maybe a large step up as far as your popularity goes, or is that just my perception because that's when I discovered you?
No, 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 no. Yes, I think that you are right.
Mm-hmm.
Our third album called Silence Between Sounds
Mm-hmm.
allowed us to be recognized by prog fans
Mm-hmm.
because we changed our way to make music. I think that we did really big steps from the previous albums, especially thinking about composition, about music,
Mm-hmm.
like more free with a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, getting always because we love melodies.
Right.
Being Italians,
Mm-hmm.
we love melodies. Always keeping a good melodies. But our song from Silence Between Sounds
Mm-hmm.
really gets space. So really close to prog rock, but and then we work a lot about on the sound as well, on the sound of the album.
Right.
Yes.
So I do know that there was a lineup change for album three.
Yeah.
Are the first two albums, would you consider them in the prog genre as well?
The first two,
Yes.
for sure. The first one now
Okay.
is more pop,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
honestly, I can say that there are some flowers, some taste of
Mm-hmm.
prog
Mm-hmm.
in some pop songs that
Right.
we wrote on the first album. The first album has been the only one that we sung in
Mm-hmm.
Italian language,
Okay.
and then we moved in English. Not me because my English is not so good, but of course good singers. That,
Right.
but and the second album called "The Trip," I think that we did a first step towards prog rock because there are 4 or 5 songs into the album, inside the album that are prog. I think
Right.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like to kind of get there's sometimes you can get into a debate about what is prog and also I that's not really what I was going for. So I assume that prog fans will like the first two albums potentially if they like
Yeah.
the third and fourth album, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yes, yes. I think the prog fans can discover
Mm-hmm.
could discover our way. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, from the beginning, and then our steps
Mm-hmm.
from year by year
Right.
till the last one that will be out at the end of the month, this month. Yes.
Right. And so this is primarily a two-person project, correct? It's you on drums and many things, producing
Yeah.
and record and mixing. And your partner is now I forgot his name,
Alex Massari.
Alex Masali, and
Yes.
his role is
He is a guitar player, and yes, I wrote all songs. I mean,
right,
by thinking by music, just music, of course, no lyrics,
right.
because we got as a lyricist Sarah, the singer,
Mm-hmm.
but my role is just write music,
Mm-hmm.
play keyboards and drums. I'm a drummer, but I play keyboards as well,
Right.
and then arranging everything.
Right.
Everything you can say, you can listen to the album.
Right.
Is just by my mind.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
Alex Roll is because we live is there is a short story because
Mm-hmm.
we live in two different cities in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I living in Milan and
Mm-hmm.
Alex living in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to work by internet, just sending files
Mm-hmm.
by through internet.
Right.
So I used to send Alex my first idea about a song with my voice just singing a
Right.
melody,
Right.
and then we start to work together. Okay, Alex, what do you think about the song? Oh, he said, okay, I think it's good, and then we start to work together, and then his role is of course playing guitars, but
Mm-hmm.
give me some really good tips as well. So, of course, collaborating with me, but everything start by me, and then step by step I build the song. It's like a song.
Okay. Right. So, and you did mention the singer, who has a very distinct voice. So, can you tell me
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit about her?
Yes. In the, as you know, in the previous album,
Mm-hmm.
Silence Between Sounds, we got four different singers.
Mm-hmm.
In this album that is done, we choose just one
Right.
of this singer. It is Sara Rinaldi, and then Alex and I, we love Sarah voice because it's no. I mean, I don't know in English, but as you can
Mm-hmm.
see, I can say it's not a normal voice, but
Right.
for prog, for prog.
For
I mean,
progress.
it's for rock as well.
Mm-hmm.
We love his way to singing, of course, and then we love is the taste of the flower,
Mm-hmm.
the colors
Mm-hmm.
of his of her voice, of course,
Right. Right.
and then she is a really good lyrics writer.
Mm-hmm.
So we collaborate very close
Mm-hmm.
between us, especially when, of course, the song is ready, and then we needed to put the words on the song. So Sarah, another
Mm-hmm.
strange thing. Sarah is living in London, so
Oh yeah. Right. I.
okay. So it's like quite weird, of course. So after the song is ready, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
with a good arrangement, but the song is okay. This is the song. Is just finished.
Right.
We send everything to Sarah,
Right.
and then I start to chat with her, thinking about the topic of the lyrics.
Right.
Saying, okay, I would like to to talk about this story, and then she wrote. She started to write everything, and then I think she's good as a lyricist at the same level of the how she sings.
Right, right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the story. It's, of course, about is it Grenfell?
Yeah,
Grenfell,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
and of course, so a big tragedy. I think 72 people died in that,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
had to do with, I believe, the a layer between of the walls. One of the layers in making the walls led the fire spread up very quickly,
yeah,
or some
exactly,
such
yeah.
thing. And so, what parts of that story do you talk about
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
album?
yeah. Right. I think that victims are 89, I
Mm-hmm.
think, but
Mm.
because really they still don't know how many people died
Ah,
there.
okay.
But we this tragedy happened at Grenfell Tower in London, happened in June of 2017,
Right.
and then we were already we got already some songs about the new album, and then I at the time I was living in London, and then I just reading some stories. I was hit by about a story of two Syrian brothers that run away from their country because of war. You know everything about Syria. I think everyone knows about Syria, and then one of them died in the into
building fire.
because of, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly about. So and then I read their story. It was, oh my God! They just run away from our country because of war and poverty, and then one of them died here
Right.
in a big city like London because of fire of a tower.
Right.
Oh, so thinking about this, and then of course listening the music that I already wrote before. I thought, okay, I think that we can do a concept album, writing a story of these two brothers, of
Right.
course. And then of course I spoke I talked with Sarah, and then we chat a lot about the story, get information, and then everything we need, and then we just writing a story from the beginning to the end of the life of this boy. This, and then it was I think if just listening, I think just listening the album, it's possible to understand that it's a melancholic one. I think that, and then just knowing the story that we are talking about is the story and the music matched perfectly.
Right.
And then yes, then we decided to dedicate this album to all victims of Grenfell Tower, and then of course to these Syrian brothers, and then we dedicated this album to all people that run away from their country because of poverty and war.
Right. Right. Oh, I'm gonna have you move your camera down a little bit. I'm only getting your
Sorry.
eyes. There
Sorry.
you go.
Sorry.
There you go. So what was it? So well, it's very. Actually, it's come up again because in America, we had people that survived the Holocaust in Germany get shot in a synagogue in America.
Yeah.
So they survive this thing. They leave their country to get, and then it happens here where so it's unfortunately it could be a reoccurring theme, this album, and it does remind me a little bit of Steven Wilson's Hand Cannot Erase, because another tragedy in a building, certainly on a different scale, but if you've seen the concert, they focus in on the apartment building where all the lights are turning on and off except for one apartment in the middle, and for years obviously the lights never went on or off, and he tries to symbolize that in 1 minute with this time lapse photography, and so
exactly.
And of course
I saw the show. Yes.
So it kind of reminded me of that because they really focus on the building on the video, but and of course fans of Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree should check out this album. And I believe I saw you had Did you take a master class from Gavin Harrison as well? And is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
as a drummer, I love giving I think that's because I love musician.
Mhm.
I think about myself like not drummer, but
Right.
like a musician,
Right.
like a musician.
Right.
I think, and then I think that Gavin Harris is a musician, not just a drummer,
Right.
because he plays his drum like an orchestra. You
Right.
know, it's just arranging with his drum, and then he got so many skills.
Hmm.
He's a really talented drummer. Yes, I met him some years ago
Hmm.
in Rome.
Mm.
Yes, chatting with him a lot.
Hmm.
And then I saw I don't remember, two or three master classes
Hmm.
in Rome as well.
Yeah.
And then I think that I got influence from him. Of course,
Right.
he is Kevin is, I am Daniele. So,
Right. Right.
of course I try to do my best.
Right, and I don't want listeners to think that your stuff is derivative of Porcupine Tree or Steven Wilson, I should say. I do want to get across that certainly for fans of Steven Wilson, this is a great album for them. And I think specifically, if anything sounds a little bit like Steven Wilson, it's Mother's Dirge. I think that has some uh, really powerful. Actually, the ending is even more powerful, but
Yeah,
it does have this. Um, I'm trying to think if I can explain it well, but some bands I get a lot of submissions, and some bands they try and be moody, but it's just dreary. And you're able to set a mood and a dark mood and because of the strong melodies and the even stronger endings of these songs, the drama, you're really able to put together, I think, a very special album here, your fourth album.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you're right. I think that's yes. Despite I think that we are different from Steve Wilson,
Hmm.
and then I love him. For me, in my opinion, he like a genius
Hmm.
for prog rock. I really love. I I saw his show here in Italy in June.
Hmm.
It was crazy. I mean, unbelievable.
Right. Right.
so, and then I think that we got something
Hmm.
by him from him, of course,
Hmm.
because.
Right.
But at the same time, we are different. And then,
Sure.
but you are right. People that who loves Steve Wilson. Uh, I think this for people for these people, this album is good
Yeah.
because I think about music like a wave.
Hmm. Right.
So talking about modern age, you
Hmm.
know, the start of the song is really aggressive.
Hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hmm.
Then everything is calm.
Hmm.
Then changing again in the middle with a power solo,
Hmm.
with
Right.
a rap, and coming back again from a stressful part of five,
Hmm.
and then yes, it's like a wave.
Right.
I
Right.
think yeah.
And the first time I noticed how strong the endings of your songs were when I think it was like the third time I heard "Take Me Home," which has, I
Yeah.
believe, is there a flautist in that song, or is it a sample? Or,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
yeah. No, it's a flautist. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yes, I want just it's a good question because
Hmm. Yes.
I want to say you that we got two unbelievable incredible musicians
Hmm.
in this album are Colin Edwin from Porcupine Tree,
Hmm. Yes.
and then he plays bass in Mother Dijap, and
Okay.
then Take Me Home,
Okay.
and in Your Name.
Okay.
And then we got a flautist that who played with Steve Wilson,
Mm.
and then called Geoff Lake,
Mm-hmm.
and then he plays in Take Me Home the solo, the flute solo,
Mm-hmm.
and then the end of the song.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah, I think uh, I, I I definitely see a change in every song, and it just gets more and more drama as you go. And that's really the point I like to get across for people considering buying this album or listening to this album. That it takes a couple listens, I think, and
Yeah,
that if and don't judge the song by the first minute because it's
yeah.
much different by the end. I mean, that's kind of obvious with progressive rock, but maybe this album more so than others that I listen to.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Right, you're right. I think that this album is more than one listen, more.
Yes.
And then, as you said,
Mhm.
just don't um, play more than 1 minute,
Yes.
because
Yes.
the songs changing
Hmm.
a lot during
Right.
during by time. Yes.
Right. And did you guys play Summer's End last year? Is that correct?
Yeah.
How
Yes.
did that
Yes.
show go? Was it well received? I assume. Did you play this album at all, or no?
Yeah, we played the previous one
Okay.
plus 3 songs of this album,
Okay.
and then it was just talking about Take Me Home, the song that
Mm-hmm.
you talked about.
Six, right.
Yes, yes, was amazing because the audience,
Mm-hmm.
the song is more than 2 minutes, just really calm,
Mm-hmm.
really calm.
Yeah.
Because I want to explain to the listener. Then it was amazing because the audience was totally in silence.
Mm. Yes.
It was unbelievable,
Right.
unbelievable. And then the song changing at the end, and it was great when at the end of the song
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, great song."
Yeah.
And then, but the most important thing I want to say, because you live in the USA,
Right.
we will be playing at Ross Fest in Saratoga.
Right.
In
We will see you there.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be awesome because now that I've heard the album, I'm like, oh, I got to see this live, and so and I'm already going to Sarasota to see that show, so that'll be
yeah,
wonderful,
yeah,
and it'll be the first year in Florida,
yeah,
so I don't know what to expect there. I've been to almost every Rozfest,
yeah.
so I'm glad that you got booked for that. So let's kind of wind it up here with what's the best way for people to buy the album that gets money to you, the artist? Is
Yeah,
there a
yes,
better
thank you.
way?
Thank you for the question.
Sure.
The best way is surfing on our website,
Okay, which is
w.
karmamoi.it
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Or our Bandcamp
or the
page.
Bandcamp. Okay.
Yes, just go surfing, going eating to Bandcamp,
Right.
digit Karmamoi,
Hmm.
and then you can find our page, and everything is there.
Right. Okay. Super. And you're I'm looking here. So you have a couple of gigs lined up. The
Yeah,
30th, which is the release date at the Musician, I see.
yeah,
Which I
yeah,
assume
exactly.
is which I assume is in Italy.
No,
It's not.
it's in the UK.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. We and we will be playing the UK. Yes, at the end of November,
Okay.
30,
Right.
and then in Leicester at Dunfest, and then on 2nd December we'll play in London
Okay.
at Boston Music Room,
Yes.
and of course we will play the whole album
Yes.
live. And then I hope that in next spring
Mm-hmm.
we'll be okay. We will be playing all around Europe, but I'll let you know
Okay.
because we are organizing everything.
All right. Well, so definitely we'll have people keep track of your website is up to date. Facebook page will have the dates.
Exactly.
So if you're out there in Europe listening to this, make sure you check that page out sometime before the spring and plan your trips accordingly. Danielle, I want to say thank you for spending some time with us, and it was wonderful. Good luck with this album. It's for those of you listening or watching this, we'll be featuring it on December 2nd at 6 p.m. on progrock.com. 6 p.m. Central Time, which is 1 a.m. for Italy. So,
Yeah.
so you'll be asleep. But that's,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's and I'm sure Peter and other of our DJs will be featuring this album as well, as they
Yeah,
saw
yeah, exactly, yes.
they saw you at the Summer's End show and talked a lot about
Yeah.
this album. So, good luck and thanks for joining
Thank you.
us.
Thank you. Say hello, ciao a tutti. Thank you. Much love to everyone.
All right, thanks.